Florida is a massive state. When you're standing in our capital in Tallahassee, you're about as close to Chicago, Illinois as you are to Key West, Florida. It's a huge state, and there are parts of our state that are as progressive as any other place you'll find in the country.
The first openly gay mayor in the United States was a guy named Richard Hyman. I call Key West a small town with an open mind, and that's who we are. So we have an openly gay police chief, we have an openly gay county commissioner. We have led the way, I think, in many ways to make it comfortable for LGBT folk to serve publicly.
I'm from Key West. I was born and raised here. 5 generations of my family have been in Key West. I think it all starts at the top. And I think that it's very important that whoever's a CEO or head of whatever organization is very clear that there will be no discrimination.
Key West today is really, it's very well integrated. The City of Key West and the County of Monroe both have human rights ordinances. We have domestic partnership benefits. So in terms of the day-to-day living for most people here, it's not an issue. Where it does get to be an issue is when we want to do things like adopt children. And that's one of the things that we're really fighting against right now.
This is the map of the state of Florida that you can get on the Quality Florida's website. And it's pretty amazing where some of the pockets are, because you'd think that everything would be clustered down here in the south. But there are some other incredible, I mean, look at Gainesville. Gainesville has a safe schools policy banning harassment and discrimination, and they have a human rights ordinance which not only bans discrimination based on sexual orientation, but also based on gender identity.
I've lived in Gainesville for 28 years. Gainesville is a place where a few people can get involved and make a real difference. And that's been very much the case in the advancement of LGBT rights.
I actually began my transition here. Gainesville has a lot of resources for transgender people and also for the larger LGBT community.
I think the University of Florida is really welcoming. A lot of people that I know that have moved to Gainesville to come to school felt like it was going to be a really welcoming place, and that's definitely true. Like, I'm out around campus and I can walk around, hold hands with my girlfriend, and it's absolutely no problem. I never have gotten a comment or anything about it.
And we did pass an ordinance in 2008 that added gender identity to our anti-discrimination ordinance, but that brought in a large number of religious political extremists.
They had little kids out there protesting with them, holding signs of fags are going to hell. There were people all over the place that were trying to put up signs around local bathrooms saying, you know, men are free to use this women's restroom, be careful, you can get raped.
And it did trigger a referendum effort, which was a charter amendment that said that the city of Gainesville could not pass any equal opportunity protections that were not in Florida state law.
It's a bunch of outside interference from the rural areas outside of Gainesville, which are far more conservative than the city of Gainesville itself. They wanted to try and take down Craig Lowe, who was a representative of progress that Gainesville was making.
I was frankly shocked at some of the stuff that we saw. The no homo mayor sign put outside of a local church. The local pastor of the church that posted the sign released a YouTube video.
Gay, fag, whatever you want to call him, I don't care. Bottom line is we cannot afford a homo mayor.
I was shocked. You'd like to think that in 2010 we're sort of past that type of scapegoating.
Craig Lowe decided that, no, that's not what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do for Gainesville.
Strong neighborhood protections and programs to help stimulate our local economy. And I believe that we were successful in doing that because you can't run a city on negativity.
The actual city of Gainesville itself proved that they support equality, and outside interference is not going to stop that. They did it with both Craig Lowe and extended protections to lesbian, bisexual, gay, and transgendered people.
What we're seeing is that a number of municipalities in Florida, cities and counties, are proactively passing good policies, policies that provide protections for LGBT individuals. But all of this has taken place on sort of an ad hoc basis, a community here, a community there.
I think the paradox of Florida is that there is this enclave in South Florida and other places, but then the legislature as a whole is very homophobic.
Part of it is redistricting. Over the life of Equality Florida, we have shifted public opinion dramatically in our favor. As a matter of fact, Floridians are with us on repealing the adoption ban, but it's not translating in Tallahassee because districts are drawn in a way that protect incumbents, and right now that means protecting conservative Republicans. In fact, I had the experience of walking into a legislator's office. The moment I said, "I'm here to talk to you about the adoption ban," he said, "You don't have to convince me that this is a terrible, terrible law." He said, "My daughter's best friend is raised by 2 moms. They're our neighbors, they're great parents, and this law is terrible. But you have to understand, my district is one of the most conservative districts in this state. And to come out publicly against this ban, I wouldn't survive my primary. If you get it to the floor," he said, "I'll vote against it."
As a parent, you really have to look out for your own kids first. We were awarded the adoption in November of 2008. Unfortunately, the state chose to appeal that decision, but it gives me a certain amount of pride in knowing that this case will probably do away with the ban. We're about halfway through now. We've got a long way to go.
I really feel strongly that we're going to win the decision if we do prevail. The issue is, are we going to be prepared enough and resourced enough to be able to withstand the ferocious response to our victory? We saw what happened in California. We saw it happen in other states. The issue is preserving the legal victory that I know in my heart that we're going to win.
The lawsuit that has the potential to end Florida's adoption ban may also spark a ballot campaign to put that ban right back into our Constitution. 2010 is going to be one of the most important elections in Florida's history. Every single statewide office is changing hands. Everything is up for grabs. The ability in the midterms for our community and fair-minded Floridians to have an incredible impact has never been higher.
We hope watching In the Life has added to your life. If you like your In the Life experience and want to help us to inspire, engage, and bring hope to others, join us as a member. Click on Donate Now at itlmedia.org or text MEMBER to 69866 and help bring independent media to more than 500 million people worldwide.